Hey, everybody. Thanks for turning out to the October HUPS meeting. We appreciate seeing everybody. We'll ask all you Zoomers if you can mute your microphones so we don't hear all the background noise that we're getting right now. So, mute the lower left corner of your screen. There's like a microphone to the right. Just click that until it says mute. If not, Martin will mute you. While you're muted, if you want to talk, you can push the space bar on your computer and it will unmute you like a walkie-talkie so you can speak. And then once you let go of the space bar, they'll be muted again.
Unless you're on that.
Usually, this part of the meeting, we ask all the first-time visitors or new members to introduce themselves. So if any of you guys on Zoom want to introduce yourselves, feel free to do so.
There's a lot of them on there. Don't know.
Yeah, a lot of Justin.
Anyone?
How about Jade?
Well,
Push your space bar, Jade. Talk to us or not.
we know a lot of you are Justin's buddies and fans and groupies, and we even have Team Justin Wallace in there.
That's right. Team Justin Wallace is here.
There you go. That's great.
That's right.
That's
That's
awesome.
correct. That's correct.
I think Team Justin Wallace and DEFCON 5 are kind of in tie for the best names today. So that's good. Well, my name is David Linderman. I'm the president of HUPS. Normally I don't introduce myself, but since we have a lot of people on Zoom today that don't know me, I thought I would. Anybody been diving lately? Joe. Tell us what you want to look at.
I just got back a week or so ago from Cozumel with a group of adaptive divers, an organization called Adaptable. It was a pretty good trip. The diving was good. The night diving was fantastic. There was 4 octopus on one night dive, so that was really good. The only downside is we had one of our adaptive divers that broke his leg in 3 places. He was trying to transfer himself out of his wheelchair onto the dive deck, and he took a tumble. His foot got stuck and broke his leg. So we had to take the dive boat to a dock and put him off on an ambulance. He's doing fine now. The doctor told him it's a good thing you're a paraplegic because you can't feel it.
Oh, no. Bad joke.
True.
Where did you dive?
Oh, all over the
In the
place
water.
outside.
You're so funny.
In the water.
All right, good. Thanks, Joe. Anybody else been diving? Justin?
Yeah, just came back from Bonnet. Yeah, so my first Bonnet trip. Been to Aruba many times, but Bonnet is absolutely spectacular. Yeah.
Were you at Captain Don's?
I was at Captain Don's, yeah. Only there for about a day or 2, and then we broke away and started shore diving. So did the Salt Pier, which is the signature dive. Incredibles, which is 2 stones down from Salt Pier.
Right.
Unreal. So really good time. I'll be there every year now.
Take me next time.
Absolutely.
Anybody else been diving and want to talk about it? All right, we can work on that for next month. Betsy, you want to talk about the video contest and/or HUF?
Tell her about the other thing.
Where do you want me to stand?
That'll be fine. I've got you online here.
Okay, first of all, the video contest, there are 3 films in this fall video contest. And they went online yesterday for voting. So everyone who's a member got an email to.
Hold on, we're going to try to get Carol. Okay, we're muted now. Okay, go ahead.
Everybody got an email with a link to the Facebook group where you can vote. If there's any problem whatsoever voting, please let me know. There's a link also on the Facebook page, and the voting will go through the end of October, and we'll show the films and the winners at the November meeting. HUF. We are
Define what HUF is.
HUF is the Houston Underwater Film Festival, and our HUF 2022 is coming up April 2nd and 3rd of 2022. Our committee is gathering films for it right now. Right now, we have 58 underwater films that have been submitted and a whole lot of films that are not underwater and weird too. But, you know, we sort of enjoy that and we sort of don't. You know, it just kind of depends on your mood.
Pick the best weird ones.
Yeah,
We have a screening one night for
the
fun, Zoom or
weirdest-
something.
yeah,
that'd be
well,
kinda fun.
some of
are too
those have-
weird to even
Yeah,
show.
just the
Yeah.
best of them, not underwater.
That's for sure. So we would like it if you guys would be an ambassador for the HUF. We have business cards that I give these out to everybody I dive with and I run across who's interested in either entering the film festival or attending the film festival. It has all the information, and the box of cards is right over here. So grab a handful. We also have HUPS cards. So if there are people that you think might be interested in joining HUF or coming to our meetings, we have these cards that gives all the information about when, where, what, and those are over there too. Okay.
You want to talk about the vaccine?
Oh, Russell wants me to announce this. 2 weeks ago, I got my Moderna booster shot. I got the 3rd shot. If you're interested in getting a Moderna booster, you can get them at Walgreens. You just go online, search for, you know, COVID booster shots, and you sign up online, you show up the next day, and they give you your shot.
It's specific for Moderna, because last I heard, I talked to pharmacists, they said Moderna didn't have one.
Well,
I
they
got
might not,
one
but
2
you
weeks
got
ago,
one.
and so did this fellow right here and his
They're
wife.
sharing that
What do
information.
they tell you about what from the last one that you should get it? Do they have a specific date?
I
or
don't
anything?
think there's, they keep
months.
changing it,
I
but
thought
it
it was
was,
8.
at first it was 8 months, now I think they're saying 6 months. Yeah, so,
Yeah, I've actually heard some information about Moderna versus the Pfizer. Is that the Moderna probably has a longer lifetime with regard to protection than the Pfizer does. So
Yes,
I've got
it
my
does.
3rd one tomorrow,
yeah.
and that'll be a good thing because
That
I'm
is
headed up
having
to,
Walgreens then, huh?
Walgreens.
ours is a Methodist hospital
Oh,
down in
Methodist
Clear
is
Lake.
giving you yours too?
Huh?
Methodist
It
is
was,
giving
it
you
was
yours.
quite easy, you just give them
Martha,
your
is
insurance
maybe-
information.
Oh, Martha,
and say you're
Martha
over
does everything for me.
65 and like that.
That is.
Didn't you have to check the attestation box?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
now it's, you know, if you're just over 65, you don't
Have
have
they
to
changed
be,
it?
I don't think you have to be immunosuppressed, but
You got anybody over 60?
Yeah, that's what it said.
All right, thanks Betsy for the update on HUF and the video contest, we appreciate that. We had a little group get together and made some changes to the HUPS monthly photo contest rules. And I think Martin was gonna share a little bit about that, but in addition, October 23rd, we're gonna have a Zoom workshop to discuss the new rules and have examples of things that can be done. 2 images in the monthly photo contest, and we're also going to have a discussion, I guess, of the topics for the contest for 2022. Again, that's in the newsletter, but it's going to be October 23rd, I think 2 to 4, but don't write that down in your calendar based on that. Look it up in the newsletter. But Martin Daniels is going to give a little brief
Let me see if I can share this.
update on those rule changes.
Okay. Everybody should see that. So these are the new rules. The pixel sizes and all that stuff hasn't changed, but the major thing that changed is the editing. In the past, we only allowed global edits. You had to do something across the entire photo, and you couldn't go in and mask and pick out certain little things. And now we've looked at a lot of the different rules and a lot of the different contests of other underwater clubs and things like that inside. A lot of them do allow this, so we're going to back off and allow this also. So you can do Photoshop type edits of your photo, going in there and changing the color or the lighting or whatever very locally, like we did not allow that before. The only thing we're not going to allow you to do is composting. Yeah, where you
Compositing.
compositing, adding, removing, moving. You can't take the fish and put it on a different reef, that kind of thing. I mean, people do that, add a diver to the scene or add the sunball to the scene. You cannot add things to the picture. You cannot take things away from the picture. You cannot remove the fish that got in the way or anything like that. But so far, so those kind of things, we're still not allowing. It still has to look like the original picture, but we are allowing Photoshop type manipulations locally in the photo. So you can take advantage of a lot of the Photoshop stuff that's allows you to do very minute, precise masking and that kind of things we are allowing. And so we're going to have a workshop on this on the 23rd, which is like 2.5 weeks. It'll be a Zoom. Everybody can come. We're going to talk about these, show some examples of what will be allowed, what won't be allowed, how it's changed, that kind of thing. Okay.
The only thing that you can remove is backscatter.
Yes, you can. And I think I said that.
Maybe you
yeah,
did.
it is.
It's in the notes.
You can crop and you can do backscatter, and that is allowed. Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can't, you can remove the backscatter, and there's a lot of great tools for doing that.
Yeah, you
Locally.
can do vignetting, you can do burning and
Burning and dodging were not
dodging.
allowed before. Now you can
Yeah.
do that. So it opens up a lot of opportunity for people to improve their photos.
Okay, thanks for that update, Martin. I think Frank Burek has a few words he wants to share.
I'm Frank Burek, and I represent this club with the Texas Gulf Coast Council of Clubs, which tie basically a lot of the clubs in our area together. And had an opportunity to attend the memorial service for Randy Whitteman this weekend. Randy was a diver. He was a member of this club for several years, probably joined because of our workshops. But he's been in HUC, he's been president of the band, a large number of clubs. He was the second vice president in the council. One of the things that Randy, and its captain, Randy, did was that he drove and took the fling out. He took a lot of divers out to the flower gardens. And one of the things that has recently happened at the flower gardens was that they had an artificial reef added to the gardens that is operated by Texas Parks and Wildlife. And on Saturday, it was announced that Texas Parks and Wildlife is changing the name of that to Whitteman's Reef. So they have named it in honor of one of the past members of our dive community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dead air, sorry, dead air. Thanks, Frank. That's exciting. That's really good. So remember him that way. So October is typically when we do the nominations for the officers and board members and all that sort of stuff for the following year. And so I had asked all the current board members if they're interested in staying on. And I think they all said yes. But I want to take this time right now, if there's anybody interested in joining the board or seeking any other positions in HUPS, raise your hand. We'd love to welcome you to get more involved. Anybody?
Board meeting?
All right, well, if there's still time, so if you're dying to get in, always send me a message or talk to me in private during the meeting. Since no one was beating down the doors to take my job or Dennis's job, we're still waiting, but no one's come in yet, saying they want the job.
Take my word for it, you don't want my job.
We decided we're gonna stick, we originally taken on the role of president, vice president, and said we'll do it for 2 years. That's kind of been a normal rotation over the last few years, but during the COVID years, it's been a little different. So Dennis and I both said that we'll continue our positions for another year if nobody wants to take them. I offered Dennis to swap with him because my job is a lot easier than his job. But he said he's going to do another year. So I said, okay, that's fine. Someone had asked me on a dive trip recently. Yeah, I mentioned that. Actually, one of my other friends said I was the president of HUPS. And he goes, well, what do you do as president? I said, mainly I talk a lot. I said, the VP actually does most of the work. And that's true. That's what Dennis does. So I appreciate you, Dennis, very much. But again, if anybody's interested, let me know. But I guess we'll stay with the slate unless we hear otherwise. David Lenderman, me for president, Dennis Davenport, vice president, Tammy Allen, secretary,
Tom Collier.
Tom Collier as treasurer, right? Those are the main officers.
That's it.
Yeah, and then the same members. So, and just thank everybody, you guys, if you get a chance to thank the board members or officers for the work that they do. We appreciate it because the club would not be here without all these people doing these little chores. And it's not a lot of work except Dennis's job, but and Betsy's job, obviously, with the HUP. But without these people filling these roles, the club wouldn't exist. So I appreciate everybody involved.
I salute the newsletter people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the best newsletter we've ever had.
Betsy, you're talking, you're not hearing your compliment here.
I said, the newsletter's the best thing we've ever had. It's just amazing, all the information in
Thank you,
there.
Cheryl.
I love it, love it, love it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, though, we've been fortunate for many, many years of having very competent people taking care of the newsletter.
That's a big task.
Betsy has taken it to a new level. She's actually moved into the 21st century with what we're doing here.
I did the newsletter for like 10 years. Back in the day, it was mailed out. When I first moved, we first started doing it, it was mailed. There were no email copies at all. That was only when we started emailing them. So, yeah, there's been a lot of changes over the years. One other thing that happens during the fall is we'll do nominations for member of the year. Okay, so how that works is that if you have someone you'd like to nominate for member of the year, you need to write a little note, letter, email, paper, scribble on a napkin, whatever, and get it to me by the beginning of the November meeting. Okay, and those letters will be published anonymously, so your name will not be on the nomination letter, in the December newsletter. And also, if there are more than one person nominated, that will be voted on at the December meeting. Okay, and I guess we'll have to come up with a way to have the Zoomers vote as well. But again, if you want to nominate somebody for member of the year for the year 2021, write a letter and get it to me.
You can email it too.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to email it. It's under h2o@mac.com. UNDERH2 letter O @mac.com. All right, so hopefully we get some nomination letters this year. We appreciate that. I think that's all I have, unless someone has another announcement. Yes.
All right, that's my guess.
Sure.
Thank you. I have 3 people, so be nice to them and hope they join. Since I moved to Del Webb, I have met some of the most wonderful people, and it's always shocking me at how much we have in common. So first, I met Ron Chaddock, and he's moved in on our street. And turns out he's got a lot of things in common with our groups, and one of them was scuba diving.
Way to go.
And then the other night, I'm going to dinner, and I meet Karen and Ron. And Karen and Ron also. And really interested in photography and did a lot of photography at one time themselves. So it'll be exciting to see all the pictures, and please welcome them.
Thanks for coming.
I think that's it. Dennis, I'm turning it over to you. You can,
Yeah, well, let me see if I can't. I'll get a little bit personal here. I can train this right on me. Okay. Well, of course, I'm in charge of getting people to show up to give us presentations. And it's always kind of an adventure. I never know what we're going to get or who we're going to get sometimes, but everybody seems to show up and we have a great time. And so why Justin Wallace? Well, Justin represents the type of new member that we really need. He's young. Well, that's probably number one, right?
number one. Yeah.
And he loves to dive, and he's really passionate about it. I've learned a lot about Justin. He's come over to the house a couple of times, and we've talked about putting his show together. And I've learned a lot about him. And one thing I know about him is that he's an island dude, right?
There you go.
I really do wish I had your accent. I really do. I love it. But not only that, he's very articulate and he's just damn smart too. I've found that as well. I talked to Justin when he was over last night, finishing up his show, about what he does for a job. And he told me that he worked for Huntsman. He's kind of a skunk works kind of guy, right? He's a senior manager of innovation and emerging technology. And so I asked him, why don't you elaborate a little bit on this, Justin? And so he starts rattling off stuff like that. And I'm nodding and I'm saying to myself, I wish the hell I understood what he's talking about. And then after a while, I kind of come to the conclusion, says, okay, Justin, I think I get it. You could tell me what you really do, but then you'd have to kill me afterwards. So I know he's been off diving. He's been off to the Maldives and he's been down there to Bonaire. And he's got some awesome new camera equipment that he's going to talk to us a little bit about. And so I talked to him about putting together a presentation for us. And I was pushing him to a film because I knew he did filmmaking or did video. And he's also a very good still camera, still photographer. And so I recommended that he download the DaVinci software, which is a free one, unless you want to pay a little extra for the full version. And he did that. I did warn him ahead of time. And I said, right, Justin? Yeah. This isn't a walk in the park. It is a definite learning experience. It will push you to the brink. And if you don't start early, you're going to find out just what it's all about to be pushing the envelope too close. And so, but anyway, Justin has been off diving and he has to work and he's got a daughter and he's trying to move. And so time kind of gets away from us. But he's one of these, well, I think I'm anal. Well, he is really anal. When you take a look, and I hope he shows you his storyline and the preparation he did to put all of this together. He's got an awesome show tonight. I know that this is getting him into the door with filmmaking, and I'm expecting a lot more and a lot better as time goes along. Certainly, we want to see you put some films into the film festival next year. I know you got the right stuff. So Justin, take it away. I'm turning it over to you.
Guess I'm doing it for you. That's technology at work there, right? So here it is. I got all my friends and family all connected. Look how many little square boxes and names. I'm not going to call everybody out because it'll take a lot of time. I know there's more to come. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably start with the history of me and HUPS, right? So I stalked the HUPS website for probably 2 years. Stalked it, like looked at Facebook, you know, looked at what was for sale. Yeah. But that time I had like a GoPro and maybe like a sea life, and I thought, yeah, I'm just not good enough, not good enough yet. And you know, I took the plunge and I joined, and I wish I joined earlier. Yeah, absolutely wish I joined earlier. And part of me joining and looking around, I was like, okay, how can I influence others to do it? Because this is a room of knowledge, right? And that's what I'm about. I love to learn. That all said, over the last year, I've gone from GoPro to yeah, quite the learning curve. So before we get to the film, I wanted to talk about my gear. So a lot of people don't understand what it takes, right? So I'm not been working on, and I'm not taking it easy because there's no camera in it. Normally it's about 40 pounds easily. So what do I have here? This is my underwater housing. So what's an underwater housing? You can take any camera, like the housings now are compatible for 85% of the cameras out there. And the housing, number one, keeps your camera protected from the water. It's sealed, mine vacuum seals, has a light that tells me if the vacuum is good, if it's leaking, or if it's about to leak. Time to call the dive. And then two, it allows me to control all of the bits and pieces that come with a camera. Three most important things: the shutter, your focus, aperture, ISO, and you want to play back, right? So beyond that, one of the challenges of underwater photography or videography is light, right?
Because speaking of light, can you sit back up a little bit?
Actually, hey, move over here. Move over to your right.
Where's the light? Right
Oh,
here?
I got the projector straight in my eyes.
No, move over here. It's better.
Right there, Tyler.
Right there.
So, talking about light, so what I have on either side that looks like Who's Johnny eyes are my strobes, right? So the strobes are exactly that. It's your whole film camera that emitted a very bright bit of light. It does the exact same thing on the water. The strobes have different powers. So depending on what you shoot and how close you are to the subject, you can adjust the powers. So maybe in the video today, you'll see me adjusting the strobes. I'll take a shot, I'll look at it, and then I'll adjust the strobe. And then you can get really creative and you can have different powers on each strobe. So it allows you to be very artistic on the water. I've gone a little further and I've got what's called a snoot. So the scientific term really is called a light shaping device, okay? And it's used for macro. So you see these shots where there's an absolutely stunning nudibranch and everything's black, but you just get the subject lit. You've done another way. You can do that with a high shutter speed, right? So you just, very small amount of light gets in. But then with this snoot, I can actually shape the type of light that comes out in the subject with different cards, and I can remotely trigger it. So what it does, it emits a flash beam onto the subject exactly how I want, rather than a wide angle. So this has been my ultimate toy recently, right? That all said too, one of the photos you may see in the presentation, I've done some slave strobe shooting. So what I'll do is not have the snoot and just have this extra strobe. I'll place it behind a subject. I'll place it in a wreck. I'll place it behind a gorgonian. So if you know what a gorgonian is, it's an absolutely stunning, like a fan. And there are, it's a vein that runs through it, right? It's almost like think of like a palm tree. And you look at an individual palm, that stalk. So what I want to do is just illuminate the vein, because most of the time when you shoot a subject, you shoot this way. You put the light on what you see. But I want the light from behind. So hopefully you see that shot from the Maldives today. So the good thing with the slave strobe is that little part there, I can trigger it and it lights up. So you can get really creative on the water these days. My most recent toy, I couldn't bring all my toys, they're not enough room. It's a tripod, an underwater tripod. So why do I want to take a tripod underwater? Yeah. So most of the time you use a tripod topside, you use it for stability, or you also use it for long exposures. So you've all seen those amazing shots where you just see the streak of light. There's a car or bus passing, and the camera just captures the brake light or the headlight. So I wanted to do exactly the same underwater. I wanted to do long exposures, hence I needed stability to the tripod to allow me to have a long shutter speed, right? So I would leave the shutter open for 10 seconds, 5 seconds. So that was in bonus. I'm not going to show those shots today. But yeah, you know, the thing about underwater photography, for me, I also have a collection of vintage underwater cameras. I'm very, very proud of them. I've got from a Nikonos 1 all the way to a 5. I don't have the RS, they're still quite expensive on eBay. I've got quite a collection of Sonys, but when I look at where the cameras are today and where they've come from, creativity is really and truly the gem of underwater photography now, right? And that's what excites me the most. I am a creative guy. That's why I lead innovation, right? I like to do things differently. So, so that all said, yeah, that's my gear. I think beyond that, one of my key principles with diving is safety. So when you have a lot of gear, it's task intensive. So you really and truly have to make sure that you're good with the diving, or your gear is good, because this is my dive buddy. This is my absolute dive buddy. I don't see anything else, right? So that all said, that's a bit of a tour of my gear, and I hope you can see what the gear has produced. So yeah, thank you. Oops.
them all.
Hopefully, something magic is going to happen here.
I need to escape this dark and lonely place.
I am Justin Wallace. I'm Trinidadian by birth, but Texan by worth. I inherited my love for photography from my father. Little did he know that day would be the beginning of my underwater photography journey. I got certified in Aruba in 2015. Since then, I've dived the waters of Australia, Komodo, Thailand, caves of Mexico, Panama, Grand Cayman, my home country Tobago, Florida, Texas, and of course, the Maldives. Join me today on my liveaboard adventure in the Indian Ocean. This is today's office, Maldives edition. Packing. Packing for my scuba diving trips is a ritual that I thoroughly enjoy. Scuba diving is a gear-intensive sport, coupled with underwater photography gear and being slightly OCD. Well, you can see for yourself. I've got two main objectives when I pack. Don't pack everything, and don't forget anything. I take the time to service my gear, test full functionality, as if I was just about to jump in the water. With all my gear packed, my seawater smile emerges. I've measured twice, and I've cut once. Ready to go. The journey. The Maldives is an archipelago of 1,192 coral islands grouped into 26 natural coral atolls in the Indian Ocean. It's one of the most geographically dispersed as well as the smallest country in Asia. In comparison to Houston, the Maldives is just 115 square miles, whereas Houston is 627 square miles. You can do the math. Houston is where my journey begins. My mom is a retired flight attendant who taught me the importance of being punctual for flights. Of course, I got to make my mom proud, and I got there on time. I unpacked a few bags-ish, checked in, said goodbye to my gear, and proceeded to board my Qatar Airways flight to Doha as my first stop on this epic journey. Traveling during the pandemic comes with a few challenges, namely social distancing. I recommend traveling business class for, social distancing purposes. Right, Dr. Fauci? 14 hours flying time and a few sparkling waters later, I landed in Qatar. I had a walk about the airport, tried some of their local sparkling water, and then boarded my flight 4 hours down to Male. As the sun peered through my window, my saltwater smile emerged. After an easy immigration experience, I now had to face the suspense and anxiety of the baggage carousel. We all know how that goes. Thankfully, all my gear arrived. Now I was ready for a change of clothes and the ocean blessings that the Maldives had to offer. The liveaboard dive boat. The luxury scuba spa vessels are the largest in the Maldives. Scuba Spa expertly combines world-class scuba diving with indulgent spa treatments. With my gear safely loaded onto the dinghy, I was in awe at the size of the vessel as we approached. The liveaboard life is summed up by dive, eat, and sleep. And well, sample the local sparkling water. Many divers are unfamiliar with the idea of liveaboards. I truly love them. A liveaboard enables you to dive more remote and often better dive sites, giving you a better experience with the underwater marine life. And of course, you get to spend that night gazing at the stars, far, far away from civilization. Well, I finally made it on board, safe and sound. Let me give you a small tour of my cabin. Come check out my room in the scuba spa. Ready? With my gear created, it was time to retire and dream about Maldives diving. Time to dive. They say island people are always late, but guess what? We wake up early. I woke up super early every day to enjoy the sunrise, had a quick workout, even tried yoga with my dive sisters Huda and Lisa. After an absolutely stunning breakfast, which was a mix of local and continental, I took my seat attentively for the dive briefing. A scuba diving briefing provides clear expectations for the dive, the topography of the dive, the marine life you can expect to see, and of course, a reminder of safety protocols. We did 17 dives during our trip, and you guessed it, 17 briefings. With my gear checked and double checked, I took my first giant stride into the Indian Ocean. But wait, before we go underwater, I know what you're thinking. Justin, you went to the Maldives. Show me the out-of-the-world onshore hotel experience. Well, you asked for it. Let me take you there. Sun Siam Iru Fushi. The Sun Siam Iru Fushi is a 52-acre resort set in the heart of the Nono Atoll, featuring 221 spacious beach and overwater villas. I couldn't come to the Maldives and not experience this. So how did I get here? Well, by a seaplane, of course. Those of you who know me and know my affection for planes, my passion for aviation, you pretty much know this was Christmas morning. I gotta tell you, these pilots have the best job, the best view, and a questionable uniform. Just a 45-minute flight to my resort. This was an out-of-the-world experience for Justin. The view of the Maldives via seaplane was immensely stimulating. Magazine quality in real life. By this time, I had taken 3 planes, 7 in-flight meals, lots of sparkling water, and all I wanted was a warm shower and some... Yep, you guessed it, more sparkling water. Here are a few videos from my drone, a few sparkling waters later. Underwater videos. So here we go again. It's time to dive. Time to giant stride, grab my camera,
dump my BCD, and descend into the Indian Ocean. I'm gonna keep one of my favorite tracks from my brother's album, Light and Shadow. This is Access is Denied.
What is freedom if you don't decide? And what is choice if your hands are tied? Beyond the shackles and chains, the world is wide. Removed from pleasure and pain, the world inside cannot be denied. Can't be denied. So why do we abuse the freedom to choose? And always have to lose to what we misuse. Cover it up and hide it away. Keep it disguised. Access is denied when you've never tried to open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Underwater photos. Underwater photographers have a comfort and a thrill zone when it comes to shooting. Mine is still photography. I guess for now, right, Dennis? My thrill zone is macro. I am a macro subject hunter. During my 7-day liveaboard on the scuba spa, I primarily shot wide angle. But then finally on the last day, the last dive, I got to put on my macro lens, arm my snoot, and I went macro shooting. These are my top shots from down below, deep down low. This is crossfire, oil pumping. Time to go. Right. So they say all good things come to an end. I don't know about that. I disagree. The friends, memories, food, sparkling water, underwater encounters, the absolutely stunning experience that the Maldives will stay in my memory with will last forever. Go to the Maldives, all you. You're missing out. Go. Play the lotto, sell a kidney, collect your susu, do whatever you need to do. Go. I thank God for the opportunity. Thank you guys for joining me in the office today. I'll see you someday, sometime.
Is it yours or mine? Someday,
Credits, man.
Yeah,
I said, I just make it.
put me on.
That was awesome. That's what I was saying.
Can you get the, yeah, there we go. Could get me on here. Yeah, I wanted to, thank you very much, Justin. I feel very proud that I had a little bit of input on this thing. Pushed you a lot. But I think that it was very much worthwhile. What I saw here was a pretty professional job. I think for a first effort, I give you an A+. I think everybody in here would probably say exactly the same thing. And all of you people out here in Zoom land, give them an applause, okay?
Questions?
Can you get him online? Full frame? Get full.
We'll never see him full.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, just full.
That's my dad.
So how'd you like your mom and dad? Have they seen it before?
No.
No, ask them how they like it. What mom and dad say.
Justin, I don't think it's clear to everybody who did the music.
That's my brother. My older brother who lives in the UK. His name is Corey Wallace, and that's all his music. Well, except one song. So yeah, it's a privilege to use my brother's music on it. And,
I really enjoyed it.
yeah, I think
That's good.
he's gonna be in tears when he sees it. He's gonna be in tears when he sees it. Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions for Justin?
What camera are you using, Justin?
I shoot a Nikon D850.
Okay.
D850.
Is it available on DVD?
It doesn't come with a DVD player.
Yeah, what I will tell you is that every time that we have a show here, we record it and we put it on our YouTube channel, and it's called HUPS.org YouTube, and you can see anything. What's that?
You have to spell out the DOT. I just make sure that.
Oh yeah, HUPS.org. Yeah, HUPS.org. Yeah. You can always get to it if you go to our HUPS.org channel or our webpage as well.
Except that dot is a period.
Yeah.
It's DOT, HUPS.DOT.org, all one smushed together word.
Give him a card.
Give him a card.
Yeah, give him a card. Here we go.
Any other
that one.
questions
That's her.
before I start? Asking my mom?
That's a hard one.
Why did these have such a different experience?
Give you a couple. Here's another couple.
Look, what I mostly saw was people flying past it at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah, the current could take any more of this.
Hey, Justin, what was your friend down there doing, standing on
I
his?
can tell you what that is. Yeah, I was hoping somebody would ask what that is, right?
There we go.
Other way, other way.
So we're all familiar.
All right.
Yeah, so
Technical
you
issues
saw on two of the photos that we took our fins off.
Yeah.
Something you typically don't do underwater. Unless you're fixing something. All right, so that is above the water, you surf, right? You use a board and you ride away. So below we have current. So what do?
No.
Take your fins off, you put them together, and you ride the current with your fins on. That's what we did. It's awesome, but you have to have really good buoyancy.
But also you have to have buoyant fins, because my fins will sink to the bottom.
Yeah, right. So that's why.
For me.
Yeah, so I've got those Scuba Pros, those white ones, and those. Anytime you see a white fin, it's me underwater. Yeah, you have to have light fins, and it's really fun. It's another way to ride the current. So you just take your fins off, adjust your buoyancy, just stick them below your feet, and it is awesome. So yeah, reckless. It's reckless, but it's awesome.
Then you can walk like an astronaut.
Then you can walk like an astronaut. Yeah.
Now, you had one of your friends that was on that trip in the Maldives was contributing some video and stills as well?
Yeah, no, not stills, just a video.
Just video.
Yeah, his name is Chris. He's Polish. He's French. The owner of Scuba Spa and Moving Peak Resorts, who's also Polish. So Chris goes and does stock footage for them. So he was kind to give me a few of his videos.
I've been to the Maldives, but I did not see that resort. Oh,
Yeah.
my God, we didn't go.
Yeah,
That's it.
What kind of drone do you have?
so that drone was a Mavic 2 Zoom.
Mavic 2
Mavic
Zoom.
Zoom, but I've gone now to a Mavic Air. Much more. You see how much gear I have? Trying to get it compact.
Do you land that on the boat deck?
I actually have a trick. I catch it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bring the drone as close as possible, catch it, and once you turn the drone sideways, engines come on. Or I get people to catch my drone. That's it. So it's easy to get it off the deck, not as easy to bring it back on. I just catch it.
So how long do you have to keep friends? Very long?
just don't put your hand further than you need to.
It keeps it until they only have 2 fingers.
Put your hand further than I need to. Yeah. So I don't even want my drone. It's a different perspective. So all that's my drone footage there. It's just a different perspective, absolutely different perspective you get, So.
How long were you at your land-based resort?
I did one night because of COVID protocols. So you have to actually have a pass to do an inter-resort transfer. So I had to agree with Scuba Spa and Sunshine Fushi that.
Is that DEFCON 5?
There we go.
And they would agree between the 2 resorts that allow me to transfer. So you had I can do one night or 7. So one.
Well, it's a shame that they didn't put you up in someplace nice.
It was terrible. It was terrible. And, so I had this butler keep bringing my bell, bringing me sparkling water. It's terrible.
Did you take all your bag gear on the seaplane, or you leave it back up?
I took it on a seaplane.
What's the weight limit?
70 kg, because it's all those resorts are designed for scuba divers. It's all 70 kg. Yeah, so there's no problem. And we all know the awesome balance of weighing our gear before we travel. Everybody in this room has a scale, right? Yep. There you go. So I weigh everything and just get it rightly marked. Right. So yeah, everything went on the seaplane both ways.
I was curious about that.
Yeah.
I was curious when you arrive at the Park and Fly Airport at Bush Airport.
Yeah.
Do you say, "Don't pick me up, I'll be making a movie for about 10 minutes"? The bus drivers.
Just get there a little earlier. Just get there a little earlier. Yeah, just
go away.
Make another round. Just make another round. Make a movie. Yeah.
Now, when you knew you were going to do this.
Yeah.
We'd already discussed it, and I had you in handcuffs on this.
Yep.
Were you thinking all along about your storyline and what you wanted to shoot?
No, I was
just get it all and put it all together.
I was diving and drinking.
Well, you had to give a lot of thought, like to do the stuff in the parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yes, but I wasn't diving and drinking then. I was diving and drinking then. No, all joke aside. So I did do a storyboard. I don't want to show how nerdy I am, but I did do a storyboard. And I think that's what impressed Dennis. So I turned up at his house with my iPad and a full storyboard. And then I typed everything up according to the storyboard. And I had, what videos I needed to use. So, and I kept a log during my trip. I had nights to chill out and I marked some things down. Primarily emotion, right? Because, diving gives you an emotion rather than what I saw. Because I didn't identify fish. You guys all know what they are. Right. Right? So it's just more how I felt than anything else. So yeah, I mean, you know, if you are going to do a film, as I've just done my first, you have to think about it before. So hence the shots of the car park and everything else. If not, I'll just do videos, do stills, right?
Justin, there's been some discussion about the Maldives and recovering from the coral.
El Nino.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in 2015, the Maldives went through, you know, El Nino, which other oceans suffer. So what's El Nino for the Maldives? It's the water temperature change. So the water temperature rose. So a lot of the corals bleach themselves. So, okay, what happens when a coral bleaches themselves? It's not just the coral, it's the life around the coral, right? So a lot of fish migrated. And if fish migrate, that means food has migrated, right? So a lot of the pelagics migrated. So they have recovered immensely from that, right? I mean, you can see, right? It's the healthiest reefs I've ever seen in my life. It's unbelievably healthy. There was not a patch of white, not a patch of dead coral that I saw anywhere, right?
Yeah, and that third world dive boat that you were on?
That's a dodgy dive boat. Yeah. So not typically my style. I like more backpacker style, like liveaboards. You know, so my liveaboard in like Komodo was 4 divers and 4 crew. That's my style. I could talk to everybody. This was a little more luxurious. I couldn't feel the bed boards, so I had trouble sleeping. Hence the sparkling water. But you know, I would say that the scuba spa is ideal if you travel with a non-diver. Okay, you know, some of our spouses that don't dive. So what does that non-diver do while you're diving? So you do 3 dives a day, one in the morning, 1 at lunch, and 1 in the afternoon. You've got plenty of time to get massages, plenty of time to enjoy, you know, just the vessel itself. You've got 4 sun decks. And you can just jump off the back of the boat and hold onto a tagline, get in the ocean, right? They will feed you as much as you want to be fed. They will feed you if they do not stop. So our ratio to divers to crew was unreal. There were 7 divers and 25 crew.
Were you with any group, or did you go?
Nah, no, we're all connected. So it's just a universe. So so we have Gordon, who is English and lives in Abu Dhabi. Laura, who's German, lives in Germany. Huda, who I know, she lives in Memphis, Tennessee. And then Lisa, Dr. Lisa is an ex-surgeon and she lives in Washington. Then we had the Indian Ocean PADI manager, his name is Matt. So Matt gave us a free PADI away course. Yeah, I said the PADI away course. Yeah, it's really good. It's really eye-opening. So it's just the basics. Don't use plastics, don't pollute the ocean, blah. But they go into, PADI goes into a lot more detail. So we all got PADI away certifications.
So you basically planted the flag and everybody rallied around it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to travel.
Yeah, it's good. Can't complain. But yeah, definitely, you know, I like more backpacker style liveaboards just because it's just more my style. And then with a smaller crew and a smaller dive team, you can make a decision on where to go, because you can look at the itinerary online and it says it's going to go blah, 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 blah. When you go on the internet and you see these sites, the weather changes. You will go somewhere completely different, right? So that's one of the sort of thrills about liveaboard dive. You don't know where you're going to go the next day. It's, you know, they say chef choice, it's captain's choice at that point. How boxes?
Yeah, I count 24 boxes up there, and probably 2 or 3 of them have more than 1 person. So yeah, it's pretty good. We had like about 45, 50 people tonight.
Yeah.
Way to go. You can really turn out the people.
Yeah.
We need to have you do this more.
Yeah.
We love you, Justin.
I have a question. I've had my hands raised for so long. Hi. So you know what? That was an awesome video, and I would visit the Maldives, but not for diving or anything as hard as that. But it's awesome. However, what about your neighbors a little further north from you and some North Sea action? When you're planning on that?
Yeah, so I'll probably do Iceland here pretty soon. Dive Silfra, so I'm dry suit certified. I am an island boy. I only like rum and beer cold. So we'll see how that goes, right? But yeah, so Scapa Flow has been on my list for some time. Just because it wrecks there. Where's Julie? Julie's somewhere there. Scottish. Where's Julie? Yeah. So yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I go to the North Sea.
Yeah, that'd be
I
fun.
stay tropical for now.
I was talking about Canada though.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to Canada. I totally dodged that one, Liz. Totally dodged that one.
I have heard from Jesse Conselmo. He's coming back. We're going to do the flower gardens for the end of this month. But after that, he's going to be going up to the, hello, hi there, everybody. He's going up to the Great Lakes for some dry suit practice. And then after that, he's headed down to Antarctica.
Wow.
Going down to Patagonia and Chile and heading out that direction. So I guess I'm going to have him do a show on that if I can talk him into it. All right. Yeah, it's going to be a little different.
Full face mask. Yeah.
Have you done Truck Lagoon?
I have not.
Do it.
I have
You
not
need to do
yet.
it before it's too late. Because
Yeah.
last time I was there, it was starting to collapse.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's been
so,
doing that a long time.
My really good friend, James Goron, he actually was one of my instructors here in Houston, and he is a Jesuit, and he was based in Cuba. So I can't tell you how many times he tried to convince me to get there. COVID brought him back home, and he has not returned since. So I am a technical diver. So, I'll probably do the Galapagos before I do that, just to enjoy that technical diving, but we'll see, yeah. I do love wrecks, like wrecks absolutely fascinate me. The eeriness about sneaking up on a wreck, it just blows my mind every single time.
Sneaking up, are they surprised when you get
Yeah,
there?
they're surprised, they don't move, they're so surprised they don't move. They don't move, they just stay still.
I did it 7 years apart, and just in that 7 years, it had deteriorated quite a bit.
Right.
It's better do it now than later.
For sure. Very good. All right. Well, again, guys, thanks for the support. Thank you, Dennis. And, it took quite a few Starbucks to get there. Yeah. Quite a few Starbucks, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think that I understand. I was telling Betsy to understand the passion of videography underwater now. It's different. It's a different story, and my story style is different. I hope you guys appreciate that. I'm a Caribbean guy, has to have music, period.
I definitely want to thank you very much, Justin. And next time you go diving, start thinking about what you're going to do for us. All right, David.
We're gonna take a little break. And then
Yeah, let's take about a 5-minute break, maybe.
So we have a 5-minute break, and then we'll have the monthly photo contest.
All right.
That was awesome, Justin. Really enjoyed it. I didn't know what to expect.
Love it.
I know that took a lot of time.
My Christmas pizza. So, I'm actually really busy. So what I do with the pasta is just go to the store. So every night I'll take something.
The biggest issue
And
is.
then Friday, I come in. And I start to have like 4 months to the videos.
Okay, how are you working on that?
Yes.
That's my problem. Right there. Oh, so you're really from
So I did it for right? So I matched my story when I started drawing things. I didn't rename it drawing it. And then when I created it, I got from videos. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't. So for me, I didn't because I didn't have them sequentially. It will put shock. You did. So I was able to select them, one, drop them in, and then look at the music and then adjust the pace.
So now, I'm assuming the only diver, I may have someone beyond that. That's fine.
What?
Do you have some other things that you think there's speaking on the? You had in your mind that.
So I did everything in my storyboard because I'm comfortable with this. They're only gonna give me 20 minutes max. Right? Max. So I got movement. So that was my first night. 20 minutes. The only thing that I wanted to add to the story that I did was, you know, like right? It was a separate vessel. But I think, yeah, sorry, and dive from people don't understand, like, you super spot, stay in one place, and you go back and forth to the store. Yes, very. It's a whole. And the other thing for me too was, when I looked at some of my I said I replicate marine, but they all do different things. You know, so it's just like, I had to kind of get out of my mind. I was like, but every stingray, every activity was different. You know, I like 6 of them, 2 of them. I shot that damn thing. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. I don't want to keep right below me. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it came right below me. I'm gonna fry it. And then I think also too that you can try to American fry and stuff. Yeah, again, captive audience, they kind of it's like this generation is sentient, right? When they hear, they hear. Right, so that's why I said there's a place for unless you're he could put in a whole right. He's kind of one of our latest. Right.
I live in Richmond too. Start. We have some friends also live in Dublin. Randolph, Amos, and James. That's our good friends. We do these.
We've only been there that.
Coming back. Well, thank you for coming out. All right, so I guess we're gonna do photo contest.
No problem.
We're getting close to that.
your name tags.
Congratulations to all the winners out there. Keep on entering. The end of the year is coming, and we'll have new contest categories coming out when, Martin?
As soon as I can send them.
So we have the new contest categories for next year, so
Yeah.
we'll be distributing those before too long. Any other?
Can we still make suggestions for that, or are y'all already picking between some?
If you make them quick, yeah.
If you're very fast.
If you're very quick before I send them out.
It's a quite a process, say, to select those. We try to make them inclusive, so everybody would have a chance of having some images that would qualify for that category. And we kind of rely on a lot of the old past context topics and sort of pick.
But
we're always open for ideas.
yeah. If you have some ideas, send them to me.
Okay.
Questions or comments?
No, just an awesome show tonight.
Next month,
Oh, yes.
we have a special presentation for our next.
Hi there, I'm
meeting.
back online again. Okay, next month, we have a very special guest. Who knows Bert Jones?
Wow.
Yeah, he's gonna be talking about the Bird Heads Conservation organization over there. Plus, I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of awesome shots. I've been in touch with him. He lives up in Washington, way out on the peninsula, the Olympic Peninsula, with him and Maureen Shimlock. He's, at one time, he was a HUPS member. How long ago was that, you think, Frank?
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, maybe? Early 2000s? Yeah. So he's been with HUPS off and on, presenter, awesome guy, awesome guy. So next month, please show up. You won't regret it. Bye-bye. That's it. We're signing off.